Across all generations, chat is the way we communicate with our family, with our friends, and within the workplace. Yet, as a professional, as soon as I have to go outside of the firm, I revert back to email. And that's despite all the risk of hacking, phishing, and fraud that we are seeing on a daily basis. And that's where we come in. Qwil Messenger is a single app platform where staff can securely engage with their prospects, their partners, their clients. And that's for all organizations.
So let's show you how. On screen, you can see our devices and the roles we're playing today. When we start the Qwil app, you'll notice that we both have to authenticate to gain access. That's because Qwil's built to banking-grade security standards, and we're invitation only, so that means that every user can know and trust that every other user and organization is who they say they are. Once your user's authenticated, you're presented with the brand space of the company in which you can communicate, in this case, Compass. The next thing that makes our platform different is our different user types.
I'm a client on Compass. As a client, I see my coverage group and my wife, Sarah, here.
Whereas as a staff member, as a relationship manager, I can see all of my colleagues in the firm and also the explicit clients that I cover. The most important thing to point out here is that this data is not harvested off the user's device and is fully controlled by the organization sponsoring the tenancy on Qwil at all times.
Qwil is a single app for everyone, and that's because users are not going to want to download a separate app per organization. So if you look at my side menu, I'm also a staff for Schroders, one of our backers, and a parent at my girls' school, and can easily swipe from one to the other. And each of these tenants is a separate data server that can be hosted wherever it needs to be. So let's start a chat. So I'll start a chat. I'll invite Peter. I have to name the chat, and that's important for integration into CRM. And just say hello.
So you'll see that I get a familiar push notification, yet the content of the message isn't displayed outside of the app. I have to authenticate to gain access to the messages and to be able to respond. So in this case, I'm going to say hello back. Now that we're chatting, you can see that it's very simple. It's very familiar to the experience you probably use on all your social platforms. But we're safe and compliant for a number of reasons, and I want to just point out one of those right now. If you'll notice, the attachment security is different for a staff user versus a client. As a staff user, I'm able to only use the camera roll from within inside the app to take pictures, and these don't persist to my device camera roll, and I can't take those pictures out of the application. What that essentially has given me is a portable scanner to take to client meetings to be able to take pictures of important KYC documents.
I'm a client of Compass, so I don't have these restrictions. So I can upload, download these documents. It's my device, it's my data.
So now that we're chatting, let's show you what else is important about a business-to-client chat platform like Qwil. Our rules are really simple about participation. Any user can invite any other user they're connected to on their address book into a chat that they're participating in. So let me just play that back one more time. Any user can bring any other user they're connected to into a chat that they're participating in. And this works really well when staff need to bring specialists into conversations as we are today. And you can see I've just brought Sam Brown into this chat, and instantly he gets notified on his desktop, and he can see the history of the thread.
So I'm now Sam, sitting at my desk, and I've got secure access to Qwil. And from the web app, I can just easily share documents to verified parties. And that's without the need for extra encryption, extra passwords. And they can actually also see that they have received it and read it. And as this data is recorded for you to meet your regulatory requirements, we also provide the option for compliance officers to search through every single chat on the platform.
So as you can see, out of the box, Qwil provides value almost immediately and can be deployed in a matter of minutes. Yet we allow customers to get even more value by integrating using our out-of-the-box connectors or directly with our open APIs. And I want to show you a couple of those examples. The first is our Salesforce connector. So this is a very familiar contact screen the RM might be sitting in. And you can see that there's a Create Chat button that I can press on that directly launches Qwil, takes me and authenticates me, and sets up a new conversation for me with that client. And I'll send some messages. And of course, if I have, once I've had the conversation, I'm able to log that chat into Salesforce, and very easily with the click of a button, not only do I get the content of the chat, but also the transcript is moved across for me so my colleagues can also see the information. Obviously, through our APIs, the automation capabilities are endless, and we want to show you two of those. The first is the automation of sending client valuation statements. So rather than send things out via post or via email with zip password protections and attachments, we can go ahead and automate that process on Qwil. And what actually can happen is we will be able to create a bespoke conversation from the advisor with the end client. There's some templated messages around that. And also, as you'll see, there is the attachments and files that are sent directly. These are not only easy for the client to open and to read, but most importantly, to reply to in context, which is a really important part of the platform. We also have another example for you here around a disaster recovery or in situations of crisis. You can imagine we've all had the SMS messages about things that are going on. I'm just going to run this one, which is a fire alert notification that sends out and gives alerts to staff as to what has to happen.
So don't all leave. This is just a demo. Well, thanks a lot for listening to us. We've got the investment industry in the UK backing us, and we're very keen to get as many of you on to trial this platform. So whether you're a credit union, a fintech, a wealth manager, an asset manager, or a bank, we are launching here in the US, so you can have 6 months for free of Qwil Messenger. So come to our stand on our website, mention Finovate, and we'll get you on within minutes. Thank you.